I am Bardock, the talking goose. As you may be aware, each year, all the geese, including myself, leave our holiday destination in Canada, returning to the soggy little island that is the United Kingdom. This year, I flew into a rather sunny London in order to present a seminar commemorating the wonderful achievements of the now-deceased Lucian Freud. Before the talk, I made sure everybody attended the Lucian Freud exhibition with keen eyes. I myself was carried into the gallery by two bird handlers on a velvet bouffon, where I was left in the main room to absorb the works. Although I dared not admit it at the time, I have always found Lucian's work to be somewhat overrated. That being said, I have always found great comfort and familiarity in Lucian's seemingly relentless obsession with human flesh. I was once a keen rival of Lucian's when I graduated from art college. Lucian once personally described my work as tiresome, vulgar, and mostly shit. What many people don't realize is that I lived and worked with Lucian as a student, and after the initial period of power games and sexual politics, I became his muse for quite some time. The tragedy is that Lucian hated all the work he made of me. Canvases were stomped, torn and burnt, all the way from the studio to the bedroom. Every single one of them a failed painting of a goose. A talking goose. Me, Bardock. One evening I called an old friend, Ian Schweppes, a crow who lived with David Hockney at the time, who came over and helped me salvage one of the paintings, which I presented to the art curators last week. This is the painting by Lucian of me entitled Flight. It was one of the later pieces with me as his model, and as you can imagine, maintaining such a pose was utterly exhausting. Balancing on 2 feet for several hours at a time is a challenge, but to balance one's entire body weight on a single feather for up to 9 hours at a time cannot be ignored. It really does capture not only Lucian's incredible attention to detail, but quite how deeply in love with the man I was at the time without even realizing it. I sold the painting last week for 20 million euros to a Japanese businessman. It was well known that Lucian had not wanted these images to go on public display, but I see it as a fair, albeit delayed response to the insulting comments he made about my work all those years ago.